The following program contains mature subject matter not suitable for young viewers and images of an actual surgical procedure that may be graphic and disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
This can really reduce the number of hysterectomies that are being done, and the procedure itself is so quick, it really is quick and fast. You do it in the morning and you can go out to lunch at noon.
How do you know with someone like Larissa that this is the right procedure for her?
For most women, when you have this abnormal uterine bleeding, as you know, we go through the workup trying to decide what is best. Too many times in other parts of the world and the country, the first thing that somebody will jump to is a hysterectomy, where it's not needed. And this procedure is only about a 5% failure rate after 5 years. So 95% of these women, that's it.
You still have the option of a hysterectomy if need be.
You can always do that later.
That's the ultimate, that's the final result. And what's nice about doing the MyoSure is you can look in and see what pathology is there. If it's a polyp, the old D&Cs miss about 10 or 11% of actual cancers. So when you go in and you're looking, I can see that everything's fine. I have no problem doing the ablation, and then we're finished. Larissa's case was a little bit different. Our endpoint was to stop the heavy bleeding. But in a lot of young women like you who want to retain their future fertility and you have fibroids, we can easily go in and sort of shave off those fibroids, and we would not obviously do an ablation if you're trying to get pregnant. A lot of fertility issues are related to the fibroids or the abnormal shaped cavity, and so we can sort of contour, sort of like plastic surgery.
There you go.
That we can go through and then contour and make the lining of the uterus a welcoming place for
So let me ask the question that a lot of our viewers have right now, and Larissa, you may have even had this question. If this is less invasive, why so often are women still being referred for hysterectomies?
Well, I think part of the problem, with all due respect to all of us as physicians, we like to think that we stay up to date and at the top of our game. I'm afraid not all of us do, and then we fall back to what we're comfortable with. So that's part of it. Half of the women who end up having hysterectomies weren't even aware that this is an option. So where does that fall? It's really not the patient. It really has to fall on us, I think.
Yeah.
So we have to be aware of it. So part of your answer is that we as physicians need to be more up to date and keeping sort of abreast of the latest.
This technology is available across the country, and so theoretically, if you're recommended to get a hysterectomy, you may need one, but you could ask for a second opinion, and most likely there are doctors in your area doing this procedure.
I'm the lucky one because he brought it up to me, and I know I asked a handful of friends my age. They didn't even know about this, and now they all want to get one because there's a lot of women who suffer from this, and I think this is the perfect answer to a big problem.
And so I think that was a great question, and that was a perfect answer. So I know we used a lot of terms and we talked about a lot of things, and the one thing I want you to take away from this conversation is if you are a woman and you have irregular vaginal bleeding, abnormal uterine bleeding, and you go to a doctor and you don't want a surgical procedure, or even if you do want a surgical procedure, your doctor should be telling you, is it definitely necessary, or are there things we can do before we get to that point? It's about you having all of the information, and based on that information, making the decision that's right for you.
Excellent.
Well, Larissa, we know this one was right for you. We're glad that you had a great result. Best of luck with everything going forward, and Dr. Weiss, thank you as always.
Thank you.